Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Pink Dumbbell Problem, and a new episode in the Discourse series. In the Discourse is just my little opportunity every so often to talk about some things that come up in the news or social media or wherever, and somehow fit with the themes of my channel. And this week I saw a bunch of really interesting things come up on Facebook, and they are all really good, positive stories. So this week is the wins in the discourse. It's funny, I don't actually spend all that much of my time on social media on Facebook. I'm generally much more on Twitter. But it just happens that a whole bunch of really good things were posted this week. And the first one I'm going to show you is a little bit of history of the creation of some of our fitness tools. This is an area of history that nobody, even in the fitness industry, really thinks much about or talks much about. This is an article about Terri Johansson, who took over and revolutionized one of the fitness equipment brands. I believe you pronounce their name Eleiko, but I've been in the fitness industry for several years and I've seen this name many times, and frankly, nobody knows how to say it. So I apologize to the company if I got that wrong. Do a video about how you say your name. We really want to know. I saw this on Facebook and I had to just go double check. I ended up on the company's own website, and yes, they actually verify this wasn't just a meme that went around and created some new agnotology in the world, created some false information or anything. So Johansson took over and revolutionized the sale and the marketing and distribution of things like dumbbells and barbells and all the heavy stuff. The history of fitness equipment is just not well known. And why do we have the equipment we have? And, all of those kinds of things. Something I'll probably dive into in this channel when I get a few other things done. And these days, of course, we're looking for more of these stories and more examples of equality and equal access for women and gender nonconforming persons. So these stories that have been buried because they weren't important in the past are actually really important now. I think we'll see probably some more stuff like this in the next few years. It's really fascinating and I'm excited to see it. Now this next one it's going to come off a little negative, but it's absolutely a win. And this is an article from a fellow named Tanner Shuck, and it's very passionate. I'll warn you of that now. It's on the T Nation website, which I'm not a big fan of. The technical side of the fitness information that they present tends to be very good, very accurate. A lot of the writers on there know their science. They aren't particularly good with the more social issues, particularly around gender. So if you're going to that website, I do caution you to be a little careful if you read other things. What I particularly really like was the phrasing he used in this. He talks about some of the more wild and ridiculous and frankly quite dangerous things that fitness influencers will do to get an audience. And he referred to them as party tricks. And I think that is really useful language. I think I'm going to probably start using that quite a lot. Actually, just as this article came out and I was sharing it on Facebook and Twitter, I was talking to a colleague at the gym one day. Hey, Dolores, if you're there, if you're watching, hello. And she said the same basic thing. She was like, I'm so fed up with these, influencers and their circus tricks. So whether you call them party tricks like Tanner Shuck has done, or if you call them circus tricks like my friend Dolores does, I think that gets the point across. It's so nice to see such a big platform as T Nation just giving space for that information to go out, because there's influencers out there, but they're trying to get your clicks. They're not trying to teach you anything. And there's very, very little, if any, education going on in any of those things. And I love how Shuck worded a lot of this in his article about, we're here to educate, not to entertain. So please, put the party tricks aside. Loved it. I'll put a link down below for the video I did about why influencers aren't trainers. And these next two, I'm so excited. So this one was from a TikTok user called Kendi L. Mack. I actually saw it on Facebook, but originated on TikTok. This is wonderful. This is a woman who's working out, and the song Rockin' Robin comes on. So I can't play you a clip because I would probably get copyright dinged for doing that. She gets kind of bored. She's doing her bicep curls and she's like, and then the song comes on and she just tosses the dumbbells down and she has a fun little dance moment, and it's really lovely and entertaining. And again, she's there to entertain. She's not claiming to be a certified instructor. But that's kind of my point, is that this is a really well done video. She also kind of illustrates some of the points that I make quite a lot in my videos. The first one is that she's having fun. Like, this is actually, she's dumping the dumbbells that she's bored with, and she, gets into the song and she has a little bit of fun and a little bit of boogie. And then at the end, she kind of picks up the dumbbells and does a few curls to the music and a few squats to the music. It's really fun. And, fitness is like sex. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. The other thing is, this is not a young woman and she's not a size 2. The great thing about this is that she is much, much, much more representative of the age and the body type of the fitness instructors that you would see out and about. I mean, unless you go to really elite gyms where they hire the instructors based on their appearance, most of us look like her. I don't know quite how old she is. There was unfortunately no information about her personally in the video, either on Facebook or on TikTok. So if you know who she is, put some info in the comments down below. I would love to credit her properly. But definitely, she's not the typical person that you see in professional marketing for fitness things. She's not, between the ages of 22 and 25. She's not a size 2. It's really lovely to see. She's much more realistic. Now, she's not claiming to be a certified fitness instructor, but the quality of what she's doing, I mean, there's a couple of little things if she was one of my students, I would tweak, but she does a really good job. Like, if she were to take our practical exam for credentialing, I mean, there's not enough here for me to say she'd pass, but yeah, she's well on her way to a gold star for sure. It's funny, as much as influencers aren't always good quality and they're much more about the looks, this person who obviously isn't selected for her marketing value is actually much more accurate. I mean, you can tell she really does work out. This isn't just fake for the cameras. And then finally, this is more of a sport one, but it's a great moment for all those naysayers who are constantly going about women aren't strong enough and that kind of thing. But again, to confuse the difference between sport and fitness, this is on a site and from an event from Rogue Fitness, which is a sport equipment company. So once again, fitness and sport, like, it's very hard to tease them apart in a lot of ways. This is Chloe Brennan, and she's a competitive weightlifter from England. And these are what's known as the Dinnie stones, D-I-N-N-I-E. And she makes a couple of attempts that aren't going so well, and then she nails it. So I will put a link down below for the video. You gotta watch it. You really want to watch the whole thing. There's a couple really great wins in this. It's kind of hard to hear at the very beginning of the clip, but the announcers are talking a little bit about her specifically at the beginning. But if you're not really carefully listening, you won't hear it. But later on, you hear them say 140 pounds, 140 pounds. And I was talking with somebody at work about this, and they were like, 140 pounds, that's not a big deal. I'm like, no. She's not lifting 140 pounds. She is 140 pounds. If you look at the description on Facebook on the video, she lifted 733 pounds. And the really big win, aside from her actual literal win, and her excitement when she realizes that she did the lift enough to qualify for whatever the ranking is and all that. Beautiful, beautiful moment. Her excitement is absolutely lovely to see. We need that kind of positivity in our lives right now. But aside from that, there's 2 men doing the commentary, and I really encourage you to have a look at that video if you have time and listen to them right to the end of the video, because at no point do they say she's good for a girl or she's good for a woman. Like, these guys really, I don't know who they were. Again, if you know who they were, put some info down below. I'd love to credit them. They did a fantastic job of not being jerks about this. And I mean, maybe that's their training, maybe that's their personal politics. I don't know. I hope all of the above. They talked about her technique. They talked about how she had her grip and how she held her spine and how she did her stance. It's just a few seconds at the very end of the video, but it is absolutely so wonderful to hear. And again, it's so wonderful to see her excitement as well. She was clearly thrilled, and I think if you watch it, you'll be thrilled for her. Any bit of that might not seem like a particularly big deal, but when you compare that to how women are usually talked about, even by, high-level international sport commentators, that is a huge win. So there you have it. I squished in 4 topics this week, did them very quickly, but again, you can see links down below, and I just wanted to talk about why these were some great moments. It's been a rough couple of weeks out there in the news and in the discourse in general, so I thought it was time to celebrate the wins. Happy International Women's Day to everybody. It was on Tuesday. It was also my birthday. It's a fun birthday. I like it. Yeah, tell me about your wins, and please click some of the links down below, not just to the external sources that are mentioned in this video, but also there's some links to some of my other videos down there. There's also links to my Patreon, Ko-fi, and of course my Threadless store, where you can get great tank tops and shirts and notebooks and all kinds of fun things with my various slogans on them. So happy International Women's Day, and as always, lift heavy, fight the patriarchy, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.